Welcome everyone to Saturday Evening Chats. This is episode 117. Tonight we have the co-host extraordinaire, Mr. DM Voss. Welcome.
Hello.
So let's get the intro in here.
In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man, G23.
So, first in tonight was Johnny Smallpepper. I have been talking with him in the side chats over on the Drunken Chef's channel. And the Drunken Chef's putting out some amazing videos. Like, he just did one that released at 2 o'clock this afternoon, which was a twist on tacos de lengua. And damn, that thing looked delicious. Second in, Mr. Kingpin, CNT Designs, Tactical Fud, PNW Woods is out there. Baron SVG, Miss Lady Wolverine, New Jersey Fishing. He's got an awesome fishing channel. Abigail's out there. Jet 001 is out there. Nicole Chaffee. I'm probably butchering that last name. Met her over on the Drunken Chef also. Then we've got the Gun Snobs out there. CB is out there. So lots and lots of great channels out in the side chat. And so I guess right now New York is undergoing trying to implement and be like California and require background checks to purchase ammunition. And like one of the stores up in New York, Cabela's, had actually like roped off all their ammo, like, and put crime scene tape around it because they didn't know what to do. And they're like, okay, well, we're supposed to be, running these background checks, but absolutely no one has any idea of what's going on. And one of the news people who was talking to some people, there was a guy who's like, look, all it's doing is affecting us, law-abiding people. He goes, because everybody knows criminals aren't going to, care if you have to do a background check. They'll just go to another state and buy them there. He goes, and all they're going to do is make it so that people just drive out of state. So, I kind of agree on that. What do you think, Foss?
Yeah. The criminals are criminals because they don't follow the law. I thought they already had background checks for ammunition.
So they were talking about it. Then I thought it had gone away, and because all of a sudden it seemed like it got put on the back burner, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to implement it," and you've got like 2 weeks to figure out how you're going to get it done. And so like no one seems to know. I see we got Boxcar Jerry out there who's jumped in. Mr. Carolina EDC reviews out there. Rob D, the New York Outcast, who has a link if he's actually not scared to join. I mean, I do kind of understand if he's too scared to join. So, I've been seeing more and more and more like 2A channels and just stuff that are talking about the AFT giving an amnesty period for the braces.
But sorry, go
Oh.
ahead.
No, go.
What? It's the same thing they said last year. Right now, I will make a statement to begin with. I do not support anything that the ATF is doing. That being said, they are not banning pistol braces. They are giving the amnesty for those whose setup does not pass the checklist that they put out. So those would be registered, not all pistol braces. And there's a lot of channels when they talk about it like it's every single pistol brace, and that's not what it is.
So then my question is, exactly what pistol braces have serial numbers?
I don't know. I didn't look. I'm not going to look.
There-
Number one thing: keep your mouth shut. That's I've said it. I don't know how many times now. That's what gets people in trouble, is telling other people your business. You keep your business to yourself, and nobody knows your business.
Right? But so what I was getting at is everyone's talking and like is jumping straight to the, oh crap, you're going to have to register this. This is now going to become an SBR, blah, blah, blah. But who's talking about the Second Amendment Foundation's lawsuit in the 9th District representing a couple of people out of the state of Washington against this illegal proposal and new regulation? I'm not hearing anyone talk about this case that's been ongoing since I think May. It's like when has anyone started talking about that there's actually a court case going on to stop this before it ever even goes into effect? So sometimes I'm wondering if it's just easier to try using the scare tactic than to say, hey, this possibly could happen, but we have this situation happening also. No one's talking about this other situation that we have going on. So I see we got G-Webs out in the crowd. And we were kind of talking about this last week. We didn't talk a whole hell of a lot about it. So, and I know everyone's talking about, hey, the Senate's back in, and what is it, HR 1808 is still up for grabs. So, do I think it's going to go anywhere? I kind of think that right now this is just people grasping at straws for elections. So, and I truly I don't see that it being able to pass, because I think they got to have a super majority for this to pass. And so there's going to be rhinos that are going to realize, wait, I'm up for election. And I'm already seeing and hearing all this other backlash. Do I want to risk losing a cake job because I might want to support something that my constituents wouldn't agree with?
I kind of agree with Coop. I don't think it'll pass, but who knows? I don't trust him.
Well, yeah, you can never trust 100% in anything. If you're going to guarantee your trust in something, you're probably going to be greatly disappointed, because it's going to fail and it's going to bite you in the ass.
Well, just the fact that there are so many millionaire public servants, that's kind of shows where their priorities are.
Millionaire? I think a lot of them are like hitting billionaire status. So we've got the Drunken Chef. I was talking about his channel earlier. I would definitely check out his Tacos de Lengua video. We've got John Z, formerly New York Outcast, John Z Productions. Formerly what?
John Z Project.
Yeah. New Jersey Outcast. So we've got Reloader 762 out in the crowd. Well, this is probably, last Wednesday night, the Drunken Chef was doing a live stream, and there was, normally I would be on Chris from the 740's live stream, co-hosting and helping, but he wasn't having his, and I was on the Drunken Chef's live stream, and I told him he needed to do a video about the proper way to cook lingua, and he's like, funny you should say that. I have a video coming out Saturday. So AAF is out in the crowd, another great channel. So I did a short, it's probably been about a week and a half or so ago, tagging Only June, and because he's been putting out some great opinion pieces, and so I would definitely, if you guys are not subscribed to him, I would check that out. And he's been putting out some really good pieces that will help make you like think. Yes. Drunken Chef says, that's right. So crazy you said that. And if you guys aren't watching Jet 001's videos that he's putting out on Friday nights, those they may not be appropriate for every age group, so I probably would not be playing them when your kids are in the room. Just a heads up. But he does have some great points in his videos also. We've seen we've got David Wilcott, who threw out a great question. We'll get to that in a minute. Mr. Burnaby Sanchez is out there. So David Wilcott says, ever seen those double barrel firearms like the 1911 AR-15 and some bolt actions? They look cool, but dumb in my opinion. So, yes, I have seen like the 1911 and the ARs. You know, different strokes for different folks, I guess. I don't really see the point in them. I would probably never waste my money on buying them. Again, there's people out there that probably really, really want them, because if no one wanted them, they would never have attempted to make it in the first place. So, and guys, Burnaby does put out content, so if you're not watching his channel, there's you're missing some good content out there. We got to start really trying to help build up all of our channels. It doesn't matter if you're at 3 subscribers or if you're at 300,000 subscribers. We definitely need to start working together, and don't be afraid to go and promote somebody who may not be in the same platform we are. Just because, you know, you got like the Drunken Chef Barbecue. He may be a barbecue channel, but unless you reach out and you start talking to them, you're never going to know if they are, you know, pro or anti 2A, or pro firearm, anti firearm. So to think that you're going to stay in one lane and be able to really grow and help promoting is going out of your comfort zone. And, you know, yeah, you may get yelled at or cussed at or whatever when you're out, you know, promoting not only your stuff but other people's content. But there's a lot of times that people are going to go, you know what, I may not produce that content, but I still like to watch that content, or I would want to learn more about that content. And so they are willing to listen to what you have to say, or they're like, hey, I'll come check out your content and see, you know, so you can promote, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Burnaby, drop a link for your channel. Your channel is impossible to find. I have looked several times before. That's why I'm not sub to you, because I cannot find your channel. So drop a link.
If this ever, yeah, because he's at like 88 subscribers.
So Tactical FUD dropped the link for Bernabe Sanchez.
And then I dropped one to a video he did. So it's out there also.
And remember, if you put a link, put whose channel it is so people know.
Oh, yeah. Jet says he got rid of all of his gun videos because of this government. Yeah, I'm not scared. I look at it this way. I fought hard as hell to get my rights back. And I'm definitely going to fight 10 times harder to make sure I keep my rights. And that we keep the tyranny away. So we've got David Walcott asking what the common 45 bullet is, 458 or 452.
I don't have a clue.
So I'm just kind of really getting into the reloading, and yeah, I reload for the 45 Colt, and I want to say it's the 452, but again, I'm not like the guy that's been out there reloading a hell of a lot. And I don't see Mr. JH586 or C-Dub out in the crowd. Tactical Fed says 452 because I know he does a lot of 45 reloading. So I would probably say it is a 452, and that's what I was thinking it was. So what's going on, Rob? He's done falling asleep.
Sorry, multitasking. Not much. What's happening, guys? How's it going?
I was thinking maybe you were just too scared to join.
Scared. Oh, that's funny.
You know, I saw you got called out earlier in your own live stream, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, when Squib said, "Didn't you send G23 a link?" Or
Oh, that's called out, huh?
and then right after that, I responded to him. I was like, "Hell no, he hates G23," and you just glossed over it. You're like, "Nope."
Man, come on. You think I can read? Come on. Nah, I ain't scared, man. I don't know. Not of DM Foss's torture test.
I don't know.
Or,
You
hopping on here.
You were too scared to take it to the range. You even admitted it in your
Man,
video.
that was, for time's sake, I was trying to be quick about it. And it's New York. You can pop a couple shots off in your basement.
Oh. So
I wasn't expecting it to like cave in the stairs, though. I mean, Jesus, that was a hell of a round. I think the torture test might have improved it.
So we got Defense Dad out in the crowd. Another great channel who's got some actually really amazing content. And he looks at stuff more on a budget side, not. And some people take the word budget or frugal to mean like crappy or whatever. But not everybody is going to have I've got the ability to go and buy a $1,000 handgun, or I've got the ability to go and buy a $600 scope, So you still want to know what's the best bang is for your buck. And that's why I put out that little video on the flashlights. There was 3 different flashlights that were under $30. Sure, could I have probably picked up 35 more different flashlights? I probably could have. Again, that was all coming out of my own damn pocket. And I'm not a multimillionaire. I don't work for the federal government. I'm not an elected official. So,
I don't know. Wouldn't somebody that worked for the federal government go around saying, I don't work for the federal government?
hell no. Those guys are proud that they work for it. I mean,
last I knew, you were supposed to be doing life. And now the next thing you know, you're out running a show collecting names. So I don't know, man.
oh. So we've got Michael Hurtnick out there. Still in ya is out there. So welcome. Miss Abigail's out there. So got some definitely good channels out there. Defense Head says, hell, one of his favorite guns is the SR9. The SR9. And it was $219. Damn thing's cheap.
Sounds like a good deal. And, price wise, and if it works well. So, yeah, a lot of people, I think a lot of people front. They try to make things look really good, but they're all struggling. Statistically, they're struggling. Budget doesn't necessarily represent the poor, as some people may state or look at, but really to have anything to make goals, little goals to succeed, you should be on a budget for things. So, what that budget is could be different, but, there's, when you got, kids, bills to pay, all types of things going on, sometimes, good enough is enough in a sense. Plus, in some cases, people got to, justify this, expense too. So I think statistically, of course, everybody claims to be living a high life, but statistically, I think most people can, relate to a budget or budget firearms.
So,
all them Glock owners.
what was it? I think Jet says, don't buy Caltech. Dude, I love my KSG. And that's Caltech.
Seems like they did a lot better on the long guns than they did the handguns.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Better on the long guns. People I know with like the sub 2000 or whatnot, the thing ran great for them. There's been complaints and this and that about different gens and stuff. They look funny. They're different, but they tend to work. At least the long guns that I've had any experience with.
So Abigail says, poor is the state of mind, like buying Olight instead of Streamlight. So I compared Olight and Streamlight in the video. Those were the two EDC flashlights that I compared. And when you're talking the price of that Streamlight being like $25 versus an Olight that you can pick up for $10, that's 10 less lumens. If you're going to be on a budget, that I'm not going to say I'm an Olight fan because I don't really care what the brand is. I look at what the quality is and like the best bang I'm going to get for my buck. Because I do like to say buy once, cry once.
Yeah. Well, there's levels. I mean, you got to think how often are you going to use this thing? Whether it's a firearm, whether it's a tool. What's the value of it to you in that sense? Obviously, if you're speaking of a firearm or a tool, you want it to do its job. You know what I mean? But does it need to be refined above the rest to do its job? Not necessarily. So it's all, what's it worth to you? And people have different opinions, different values placed upon things. So, I wouldn't be upset or shame a friend with a high point. I'd hate to be the one trying to conceal carry it in New York, but there'd be some jokes. But if that's all you could do, it's all you could do. I mean, something's better than nothing.
So Abigail says Streamlight has better candela and thermal regulation than Olight. Also, I had an Olight before, and it died in my bag. So again, I'll refer back to my video. I compared those two different Olights and the Streamlight. And I put in the candelas. So, and the throw. There's a discrepancy with the Streamlight because if you look just at their website, they say it can only have a 1 meter drop before you have a chance of breaking it. But then if you actually go in and there's a place to download the information, I think it goes to like 1.2 or 1.5 meter drop. So it's like, which one is it? Do you not know what your own product will withstand? Well, I'm not going to say Streamlights aren't good flashlights because there's a lot of people that love them and everything. But if you go lumen, candela, and price, you can compare them side by side. There's a big discrepancy in price. That's all I'm going to say. So David Walcott says High Point versus Taurus firearm. which you guys think is good? So, Rob, we'll start with you.
What Taurus is in the high point price range? I mean, side by side, I would go with a Taurus for dollar for dollar. You know, warranted. And from what I hear, those G2Cs or whatever those are, tend to work fine. So, but to my recollection, I believe they're probably $60 more than a high point, maybe more. So that's a little different. Not that $60 is a lot, but if we're being critical versus a high point, dollar point, that's what, $160.
I think those high points are about $200. And Taurus does put out a lot of great firearms, and so does High Point. Yeah, their slides are way over being top heavy. They're aesthetically, they're probably not the greatest looking firearms. But at the end of the day, how many times have you heard that high points don't go bang every time? How many times do you hear Tauruses not going bang every time? Except, I'll give it to Defense Dad. He had one that completely crapped out. And, there's always going to be errors and some bad firearms that they get through. Just like anytime you're in a manufacturing, bad parts make it out. Bad end products make it out the door. It's not that it's on purpose, but there's no way that you're ever going to get 100% no bad product making it out of a manufacturing facility.
I'd also factor, the high points, from what I hear, a little tricky to disassemble, properly clean, put back together. So I don't personally know, because I don't own one. I've never had one. The Tauruses are more like a standard firearm, from my understanding. Same thing with those. I haven't had a Taurus either, so I don't know. But that would obviously be a big difference for somebody that's just buying a gun to have a gun and doesn't have a lot of money. Being able to actually clean that gun, service that firearm without it, being difficult for them would probably be ideal as well. Plus the size, the Taurus is probably going to be lighter. I believe the, thinner or whatever, it's not made of that pot metal, I believe. High Point is. So I, should be able to be a slimmer, more comfortable firearm, and you would be able to get accessories. So dollar for dollar, I'd take the Taurus, but now I'm being repetitive, but just a few more factors as to why.
So G-Web says every Taurus that he's owned has broke. And yeah, back in the day, there was a lot more issues with Taurus than you hear anymore. And I want to say hello to 500 Magnum and MOA 360 is out there. And I'm probably missing some other people that have popped in here. So 2A, there's Hunting, and stuff with J&J, another good channel out there. So
What's Foss's take on this?
For the most part, everyone I've heard talk about, I've never shot a high point, but most people that I've heard talk about high points, they're basically bulletproof and they work. But I would go with the Taurus. I've got two Taurus. I have two Tauri. I've got a TH9 and Model 65. I haven't had a problem with either of them. I've shot the G2C and I didn't care for it. But they're really popular. So, you know, I'm not saying anything bad. I didn't like it. A little bit small and the triggers are garbage. But I would go with Taurus personally.
I think you shot the Judge also.
Yes, I think I have shot the Judge.
Well, let's throw a scenario in there. Let's say the door's getting kicked in. You got an oncoming threat. You don't have your guns in front of you in the box, brand new. So keep all these factors in play. You've got a high point or you've got a Taurus, and there's ammo loaded in magazines in the box with them. Which one are you going to grab? You can only pick one.
First, whatever's closest. But I would go Taurus.
See, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question because Taurus is a good firearm, and I would never knock them. But at the end of the day, even if you miss with all your rounds, because you're just that crappy and not everything, you have the ability to use that high point as a hammer or a blunt throwing object. So there's also that point of it. So I probably would, say I'm going to grab the Taurus, but you also have those other options with the high point that you don't have with the Taurus.
All right. Well, since I'm not personally familiar with either handgun, either manufacturer at this point, I would make my opinion because of this fact. So I might as well state my opinion first. I'd probably pick up the high point. Now, your point of using it as a blunt weapon, that is an option if something was funny. But reason being is I've never heard of somebody having a problem with their high point yet. Now I'm sure it's had to have happened, but in the chats throughout everything, everybody says they're ugly as sin. I'd hate to carry one, but they work. But I have heard several complaints of Tauruses having issues. So, but if this wasn't in this scenario and I was just going to the store or whatever, I'd probably choose a Taurus, or I would choose a Taurus for the same price point. But so I just put that out, because again, if I can't get the gun up and running for some reason, it's heavier. So that's an advantage.
So Miss Abigail says might get a Glock 20 soon. Mr. Foss, you have any opinions on the Glock 20?
Yeah, I put out there I really like my Glock 20. I do. I'm not a Glock lover, but I pretty much love mine. It's one of my favorite guns to shoot. Handguns.
Yes. So
even after the dog peed on it.
The funny thing is it still worked just fine.
Yeah, it might have worked, but I'm just saying, it's hard. I mean, the dog peed on it. He was flicking like dingleberries or something off from it when he came back on camera. I mean, I hope he at least gave it a bath.
The thing is we never even saw you shoot yours.
Sure, he did.
No, that was all CGI. I can tell edited, but
CGI. What is that? That's rich people stuff.
It's yeah. There's no way Rob is doing CGI. I'll give him that.
G-Webs is out there giving you crap there, Foss.
I stand by my statement. Is I didn't want to like Glocks. Before I had ever shot one, I didn't want to like them. I thought I wouldn't like them, and I rented a Glock 48, and I liked it. For me, it shot well. I didn't mind the grip angle or any of that. And every one that I've shot well. And with the G20, it's 10 millimeters, so it's that much more fun.
G-Webs is getting on me for, doing the back in the day comment towards him. He's like, CGI, common Glock insult. So, Jet had asked about the Glock 20 being a 10 millimeter. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I thought the G20 shoots, for 10 millimeter shoots pretty soft.
Yes, it was a pretty soft shooter. You put it side by side and compare it with like my G23 being a 40 cal.
It's a lot better than my Steel Witness that I used to have.
It just says, damn, $1 a round. And F that unless you're in bear country. There's 10 millimeter rounds that you're going to spend a lot less than $1 a round.
Oh, buddy, there's worse than that. I've got 2 boxes of 450 Bushmaster, 40 rounds. That cost me $92. That's 40 rounds total, not 2 boxes of 40 rounds.
Yeah. Price out.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Price out the 45 Colt. See what that is around. It's not cheap either. So what were you gonna say there, Rob?
I was gonna say, isn't it like common knowledge that manufacturers download 10 millimeter? So you're basically buying a 40 anyway. So is that wrong? Or I know you can get full power rounds, but is everybody really buying those? Is that what they stock with and practice with, or I assume they're more money? I mean,
I haven't looked at the numbers, but I've heard a lot of people say that, so I think it is probably true.
I mean, I personally don't know. I'm just curious because if you're spending the money and going through all the steps, but yet you're still ending up with the same damn results, what's the point? I mean, if you get all the way there and then be a cheap ass on the ammo, then why not just carry a 40 and, be able to go out one more night a week or something? I don't know.
So, on average, your 40 cal round, good price times, you're talking 18 to 25 cents a round, 27 cents a round. Roughly, and that's not getting into self-defense ammo. This is just talking FMJ practice ammo. And then your 10 millimeter is normally about 24 to 37 cents a round. Unless you're like getting like Underwood Penetrator or Extreme Penetrator or Buffalo Bore, you start naming some of those that are actually going full loading more towards your upper end on the 10 millimeter scale, putting it actually closer to full power. Those are going to cost you right around about 40 to 49 cents a round on average in good times. Minuteman ammo normally is pretty good on running their ammo, and so they're putting closer to full power rounds out at your lower price point, and you can actually use those as practice rounds and carry rounds in your self-defense because they are the hollow points, and typically they're running about 4 cents higher per round than your standard FMJs.
I've got for 10 millimeter, I've got Blazer, which I'm pretty sure is not full power. I got that because it was cheap, and then I've got Sig, which is closer to full power. What if you consider full power being like 1,300 feet per second plus? I think Sig is like 1,250.
And I had taken up some 40 cal ammo when Foss and I were hanging out.
Yeah, you brought some screamers.
And those were 120 grains traveling at 1,450 feet per second. So, you hear that, Foss?
No.
The wife said to tell you that Washington State just upset Wisconsin.
Yeah, I've been watching the play-by-play. So if there's anybody...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if there's anybody out there who are Wisconsin fans, you can suck it. Nothing personal. But Washington State gets so very few wins. I'm going to gloat the ones they do get.
Hey, you guys are 2-0. So you're doing pretty good this year.
And yes, I know it's Rob. I know it's sports ball, but it holds. Sorry, I was gonna sidetrack us.
So Michael Hurtnick does put out some good points. He says it's the same price to reload 40 as it is to reload 10 millimeter. And he says, don't people use 10 millimeter for bear? There was a dude in Colorado who used a 40 cal to put down a bear inside his own house. Just saying. So it is out there. And
there was a grandma in Alaska that killed a moose with a shovel. Was attacking her husband.
That's a badass grandma, man.
So we got Keith Gregory, who's been out there for a while. Not that I was ignoring you, but welcome. And we got Razor JB out there. BV Luminous is out there. So the bear broke into his house in the middle of the night, and I think the wife was going to go get something, and then she screamed because she saw the bear, and the husband came out and dispatched the bear with a 40 cal.
What's more available between 40 and 10?
Eh,
I guess it really depends on where you go.
yeah.
Because like I can go to one store right now and they're both, you know, you got multiple different choices of 40 and a 10. That's actually at a couple different stores around here. During the ammo shortage, I actually saw 10 millimeter on the shelf more often than I saw 40 on the shelf. Kind of weird.
Yeah, that when the shortage happened, around here, 9 was the first to disappear, and 40 was kind of near the last of the calibers to disappear.
I should have gone to where you were. Damn. Because here, 40 was like the first to go, 9 was shortly thereafter, and 10 probably was one of the last rounds to actually be gone. A lot of people out in the crowd love their 40s. Yes, 40 is a great round. Great overall round.
So is the advantage basically just wider diameter for more blood loss? Is that really kind of what it comes down to? You can buy hot 40 or regular 10. I mean, what's the separation difference between hot 40 and hot 10? I mean,
They're the same. They're the same
Okay.
diameter. It's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the same diameter even. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
then
it comes
damn.
all down to the 10 millimeter case is a little larger
It's longer.
and a little thicker, so it can actually withstand a higher pressure load. So you could put more grains of powder in there.
All right.
So here is. Forgive the brass noise, G-Webs.
I just heard your dollar signs.
Let me.
So if they're the same size, can you shoot a 40 out of a 10?
Yes.
Like reliably, repeatably?
People do it. I probably wouldn't suggest it all the time, but yeah, I mean, there's not a huge difference between the round sizes.
Well, I was gonna say that might be an advantage and make it worth,
So this is.
I don't know.
This is a 40. This is a case from a 40, and this is a case from 10 millimeter. That's the difference. Whoops, right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a lot, but could definitely possibly be enough for a feeding issue.
Well, if you compare, this is a 9. This is a 40. There we go. I can't get it. This is 9. This is 40. See the diameter difference, the height difference, and then you add in 10. So looks like that.
So you get the stairs.
Are those steps to code?
Codes vary by county.
And state.
Well, yeah. Should definitely be. All right.
City, county, state, all separate codes. So you got the stairs.
Yeah, you kind of got like state ones that are general, but yeah, and then you got your frost lines to deal with different areas it switches. So, but
And then if you want to throw it in, then you got OSHA codes also that make it a whole different ballgame. You have to deal with that kind of bull crap, don't you?
yeah, the zones a lot of times things will vary, like your frost levels and whatnot. So if I'm attaching things to a building or not, obviously it makes a difference depending on where you're going, if you're digging, all that type of stuff. So sometimes I gotta pay basically for a permit, and I'll get hit from the county and the town, which is like double dipping. Like it's only happened to me in one area, but it kind of pisses me off, And of course, the town, the guy's only there like 2 days a week, and he's like the justice of the peace and the dog catcher and every damn thing. So shows up when he feels like it, type deal. So but I don't know. And then they don't even bother to show up to do a finish inspection. But it's all about the money. But yeah, some of this stuff is ridiculous. So, and speaking of codes, I would state, now that you bring up that they are different states, this and that is true. And I can speak for New York State. Code only covers you for 90 days. So if the code inspector doesn't really check the contractor's work, skips over things, whatever, and it falls apart after 90 days, there's nothing you can do about that. So, I mean, you can go back towards the contractor, but the city with the permits and everything, there's nothing there. So, and I've seen some really horrible stuff that was approved by code somehow, some way.
So, defense, Dad, I did not see your comment because I was like paying attention when I put FOSS full screen. But no, 40 is not for those afraid of a 45, because truly, if you listen to a lot of people will tell you that the 40 recoils harder than a 45 ACP. So, that would be a whole different ball game there. And I see Echo's out there. Welcome, Echo. Glad to see you made it to Tennessee. Georgia Trapping and Fishing. You guys, he does a great Sunday live stream. He's been running about 4 hours on Sundays. He's been starting at like 11 o'clock Pacific and going all the way to like 3 in the afternoon. And I know that he needs to go watch the Drunken Chef's video that just came out today, because it's on his favorite subject, lingua. Somehow every Sunday we end up talking about lingua. I don't know how it gets brought up every single Sunday.
You are the common denominator. You always bring it up. Every chat you go on, tongue this, tongue that.
Nasty, I know. He's got a tongue fetish.
So, like the last couple weeks, I wasn't the first one to mention it. So people will be like, hopefully we're not going to talk about tongue.
Okay.
Hopefully we're not going to talk about tongue this week. Well, once you start saying we're not going to, yeah, of course, we're going to talk about tongue.
No, they see you're out there and they're like, oh, Lordy, here comes the tongue.
So he's the Glock guy and the tongue guy, huh? That's a hell of a rep, man.
And the Birkenstock guy.
I don't know why you bragging.
A little flexing
Yes,
right there.
On Wednesday's show, Wednesday's chat, we got a good look at his feet. He sent us a picture of his feet.
That was my wife's foot. My feet are way bigger than that. PNW Wood says, so many, that's what she said, in a row. So Defense Dad says, I legit prefer 9mm over 40 though. It's still lower cost to shoot and way more available in my area. As someone who likes to shoot a lot, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him. Plus, really, shot placement matters. I mean, there's a lot more. There's more to it than your size, boys.
That's what she said. So,
When she says that, it's just to be nice. I'm just being honest here.
again, it comes to practice and not having sissy wrists. I mean, if you can actually, lock out those wrists and keep that recoil, man, I can, get on there and put those rounds in a nice group.
Yeah, but it's way cheaper for 9mm than 40 or 40 even. Yeah, 45. Let's see, 10mm definitely. I mean, it's way cheaper. It's available everywhere. Nine's king of the world. I mean, is it the best round? Probably not. I mean, depends on what you're looking at or whatever. There's obviously stronger rounds, but it can do the job if you do your part.
It's cheaper, but how do you put a price on the sadness that shooting 9mm gives you?
Well, I don't know. The way I see it, if I got to dispatch a problem, I'd like to do it as affordably as possible.
So there's the thing is, if you had a bear break into your house, how many 9mm rounds do you think you're going to have to pump into it before you're going to stop that bear from killing you and your family? Versus how many rounds I'm going to have to put through it in a 40.
Well, Rob does have a featureless AR that he could sadly use.
And, the likelihood of a bear breaking into my house is pretty slim. Fractions of percent, probably, maybe. So it's not too far up on my list.
Yeah, he gets crackheads. He doesn't get bears.
That would be more of a concern.
So even at a strung out crackhead, you watch some of those videos of people high on drugs.
Yeah, I know. But either it's going to be or it's not going to be, man. Sometimes you don't make it. I don't know. But I don't, I'd rather practice, be good, whatever, be able to afford to practice with a cheaper round that can get it done. That's a NATO round that's going to be available, has been available. It's just me. Everybody's got a preference. I mean, yeah.
When ammo was short last year, 9mm was $50 for 25 rounds.
Maybe, but I didn't have to buy any because it's been
Or-
around for years and it's been cheap for years. So there's no reason you should be, like a drug addict. Go buy a decent supply. You know what I mean? I don't understand here.
You got any of that 9mm?
I slowed down a little bit, but that's because I didn't want to burn through my stock or be forced to start paying these modern prices for it at that point. So, I will buy again, because I don't want to wipe my stock out. But I'm not rich, but because it's 9, I was able to create a stockpile. Any store I went to had 9mm. So
I was still
before the crisis.
I was still picking up 40 during the ammo shortage, and it didn't go up that much. So it went from me paying on average 20 cents a round to me paying on average about 26 cents a round.
Well, that just goes to show 9mm is like way more valuable. Damn near doubled or tripled in price.
No, I was just, and again, it doesn't matter what caliber you choose. In good times, stack it up and stack it deep. It's what you should be doing.
Good. I mean, the gun's worthless without ammo. So, yeah.
And I would suggest,
No gun with no nails don't make no sense.
I'd also suggest picking up reloading supplies and start with a reloading manual so you can just read it. Because if you have projectiles, you have primers, you have powder, it's not that you can learn to reload. And when ammo's hard to find or ammo is decided to quadruple in price, you still have the ability to produce ammo. So I know
if you stack primers deep, real deep, it's the same problem, man. It's the same problem. Whatever you're doing, stack it deep because it don't matter. All it takes is one little link in the chain and you're screwed.
Yeah, the serious reloaders, they'll buy them like 10,000 at a shot.
So G-Web says, what if you're minding your own business, cooking up some lingua, and all of a sudden a bear breaks in? What caliber are you reaching for? 9mm or 10mm? Just saying.
Just give them the tongue. Ask them to leave.
Hell no. You grab the 10mm, you dispatch the bear, and now you've got a hell of a lot more meat to put in your freezer and another tongue.
You bust out the 12 gauge.
So 500 Magnum says, thoughts on the new 30 Super Carry. So back during SHOT Show, we kind of discussed this, and I'll go back and I'll give my same answer. It is the answer to the question that nobody, absolutely nobody asked. And honestly, I'm probably never going to shoot the firearm. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not interested in it. If I got the chance, I would shoot it. Just, see what it's like. But, I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. It's just I'm not interested in it.
And I'm not a caliber hater, so yeah, I don't. that floats your boat. Go for it. My only interest I really had was if for some reason it had better penetration or good penetration. I was interested on the penetration aspect, but I don't think I've gotten an answer on that, or if I did, I forgot. But either way, I don't know. I don't know if it's ideal for a shooting sport or something or whatever. But to each their own. It seems like, I don't really know if we need a spot between like 9 and 38, but apparently people are buying it, so I don't know. I have no interest at this point, but I'd definitely shoot one or whatever, try one. But I don't see a need for one.
So I've never tried 38 Super. And like Rob says, somebody likes every caliber, and so there's going to be a place for each caliber to be there. Am I going to run out and go purchase a firearm just to try some of these calibers? Probably not. If somebody offered to let me shoot like every caliber, I'm probably going to shoot 90% of them.
Oh, come on. Which ones wouldn't you shoot?
I really have no interest in the 30 Super Carry. Honestly, I have
Well,
zero.
no, I mean, if you were at the range and somebody was like, here, try this. And it was, I don't know, let's throw something in there, any caliber. And you were like, oh, I'm not going to shoot that. Because you said 90%. So that's 10% that you would turn your nose to. What are those 10% calibers?
9mm.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, 9mm are great for people. They're just not great for me. Have I shot a 9mm? Yes. There's video on my channel of me shooting a 9mm. Did I buy the wife a 9mm? Yes, I bought the wife a 9mm. Again, not for me.
So let's throw that scenario back up. You got a 9mm or your sandal. What are you going to use when the bear comes through the door?
He's going chunkla all day long.
I am. I'm going.
Damn pride's going to get you killed.
Yeah. Clovertac says we're saying mill too much.
There's no we. He says you.
Yes. He says for a minute he thought he was watching a rap video. Damn. So, Jet says, here's a question before my phone dies. Is the U.S. going to have a civil war?
Not anytime soon.
At some point. I can't say it's going to be tomorrow, and I can't say it's going to be next year. But yeah, at some point it's bound to happen. I honestly don't want to see it happen, but there's a lot of things that are written on the walls that you can clearly see happening.
I'd say, yeah. Wouldn't predict a date or nothing, but I think it's, basically inevitable. It's what's happened kind of in history. Well, I don't want to say that, but I think it's going to happen. At some point, there's going to be way more haves and have-nots, and not necessarily due to a lack of effort or, trying in a sense. Just it seems like things are pulling further and further apart, almost as if they want the average person to fail and be dependent. So, I don't know. I think eventually it's going to be a problem. So there are certain people that it just, they got a line that they're just not, there's certain stuff they're just not going to do. So, yeah. And eventually when enough of them people end up coming to that line, I think we're going to have a problem.
So, and mill is also not just tarp thickness and scope adjustments. It's also a latex glove. So, and there's other things that are measured in mils.
Is tongue measured in mils?
No.
How many mils is your tongue?
Drop cloth plastic.
Yep. So,
Some people's anatomy.
David Wilcott says G23 and guest 5.7 or 22 TCM.
Is there a neither option?
You don't like either of them?
If I had to choose between the two, I'd choose 38 special.
Go, Rob.
So I don't know too much about 22 CCM. Does that have better, equal, or worse penetrating power than 5.7?
So
it's a fast round.
So the 22 TCM is a pretty screaming round. What is it? 9 mil neck down, or 38 neck down to like a 223 round, or a little 22 round.
Like typically soft point or something like that.
I'll pull up what a 22 TCM looks like.
Oh, C4 Defense really likes it.
My answer would be whatever one's got better penetration.
Reloader 762 says the 22 TCM parent case is a 5.56.
Trying to find if there's got to be a video showing both of them, or not a video, a picture showing. Just pull up the 22. You would think that if I would have known this question, I could have had it researched.
Are they both price similar?
So this is what
Availability.
this is what the 22 TCM looks like. And they say bullet speed is 2,000 feet per second or 1,364 miles per hour. Speed fact, could travel around the world in 18.25 hours. I don't know who calculated all that, but there you go.
Yes, Google on penetration between the two or whatever.
See, look at this, right? You got this where you got 9x19 and you got your 22 TCM. So it's even.
It's good advice.
And remember, potato salad is still a salad. So, do we have anything else we want to? I know I do have a poll out in the live stream, and the question was: do you think the election will have? Do you think the elections affect the attack on the Second Amendment? And 85% say yes, 7% say no, and 9% are saying, come on, man. So I'm going to end that. So we got Daniel got his my jugs out there. You got Moo, 2 Live Moos out there. So MOA says he has no idea what pistol uses 22 TCM 1911s. So you can get a Rock Island Armory that comes with both a 9mm barrel and a 22 TCM. So we've got Mr. Lee, Thoughts of an Old Soldier. Welcome, bud. Glad to see you're back out of YouTube jail. There's been a lot of channels being thrown in YouTube jail here lately. What was it? Artak and Daughters got thrown in there. So that was kind of weird.
What, the thrown in jail or the Artak and Donald?
Huh?
You said Artak and Donald?
Yep. And I guess Glock has a conversion barrel for it. I have no clue.
I would get the 460 Roland conversion barrel for the Glock.
Do they actually have one?
Yeah, it costs as much as a Glock. But there's a 940 Roland, which is only like 200, 250 conversion.
Yep. So I don't remember exactly the reason why Artak was thrown in YouTube jail. Yes. So I screwed up. I was I was going to say two different things at one time. So his channel got butchered. And hell, it's not like he ever watches the show anymore.
I think he's usually working, so I will rarely ever criticize a guy for working, no matter what job it is. You know, they're paying their bills.
So MOA says, do 22 TCM fit in standard 1911 mags? No clue. I have zero experience with them.
Probably if you
Yeah.
jam them in hard enough, you can get them in there. I don't know.
I want to say that they I don't know. They probably would fit in like the 9mm, but I have no clue. So, I know. Do we have any more questions out there?
Looks like maybe the 22 TCM and the 9mm magazines are the same.
I was gonna figure that out because of the fact that they sell them like the Rock Island. I believe it just comes with the barrel and recoil spring change, but I didn't hear anyone ever mention if it you had to swap out different mags. So um, yeah, 22 Magnum has a place. Uh, I have not purchased a firearm that does shoot 22 mag, but I probably will one of these days. There's a
I don't think I've ever shot 22 Magnum. Just 22 long rifle.
I think some 22 LRs will chamber and are stamped for the WMR. I don't know if he has it for the Glock, but I know he does for the Rock Island. He has the 22 TCM swap video. So C4 Defense, I think, has that on his channel, and he might have the Glock on there. I'm not gonna say I watch every video from every single person. I can't. Too many different people out there producing some great content. So honestly, I didn't even realize that Foss had put out a challenge video to Rob D until I saw Rob D's video pop up as a response to. I'm like, crap, now I gotta go find this video.
I'd ask you who won, but I know you're biased, so yeah, no point.
The West Coast won, beat the East Coast hands down. I mean, was there even?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You didn't even see Sparks in his video. Didn't even see him. And that little baby hammer he used. Come on, man.
Hell, you didn't even hit your firearm. You hit the ground beside it, and then showed your firearm.
I have a
Are you
sledgehammer.
crazy? You didn't hear the steel clanking?
Sound effects.
That was my 3-pound sledge. I have an 8-pound sledgehammer right here.
Travis T says, come on, Glocks get C4 all tingly, so add in TCM, and he's probably giggling through the whole video. I will attempt to watch a video which Tactical fed through a link to C4's channel. And easily, Rob, the sparks, because you didn't show grinding on the firearm. So
Sure I did.
you could have easily had a metal plate sitting right beside it that you were grinding on the metal plate.
Oh my gosh, you can see me grinding on the slide. Like,
No,
obviously.
You can see the gun, you can see the sparks, you can see the grinder. Like, what are you talking about?
He must have had something in his eye.
Maybe something sparkly, flashy.
Uh-huh.
Don't be mad because it took it better than yours would have.
hell no. Mine's a beast.
And I even hammered nails in with mine. Why are
I'll,
you
gi-
laughing? Why
I'll,
are you
I'll,
laughing?
I'll give you that, but I mean, it's kind of softwood.
That's what she said.
Soft wood. I tried telling them. They didn't use that little hammer for the Glock.
Yeah.
Well, little jeweler's hammer.
No, I have not seen Nut and Fancy's videos.
Well, you don't like nothing fancy?
There's so many people out there producing content. There's no way you can watch every single video that's being dropped.
How dare these people say that?
So, see, Rob, see what you opened yourself up to? Asking for the people's comments. I'm telling you, you're getting hammered out here.
They're just jealous. I know. Like, and the funny part was, that was even a Pro Mag that I hammered that nail in with. Whoa. Whoa. I just blew some minds out there.
That just means that you were too scared to put your carry mag in just in case something bad happened.
Like, crazy. Crazy.
Oh. So, have a great evening, Jet. So, Miss Gunpowder Beauty's out in the crowd.
Well, I'm game if he wants to take this up to the next level. He thinks he's got a better test.
So, yeah, that definitely is a good reason why you would pick 22 TCM over 5.7, because you're talking 38 cents a round versus $1 a round. And it screams at 2,800 feet per second. So,
But does it do the same job?
yes.
Even with penetration on soft armor?
Yes. There's probably videos out there. I'm not going to show other people's content because I'm not going to get a copyright claim. So David Walcott says, what do you guys think on a AK chambered in 50 cal.
I think it's a pipe dream generated, used to generate views.
I say if it can be done, I'll take 2.
He's
I
never gonna finish it.
He may not, but another company may see how much interest is truly being generated into this, and who has the ability to R&D it and actually get it to market. I don't think Brandon Herrera will possibly ever get it to market. There's a chance he might. I don't think he's going to be the first one to market to bring it. So we got AR Gun 1776 out in the crowd. Welcome. And what do you think, Rob? We all know that even if it's on the market today, you couldn't have it. But if you were in a free state, would you want it?
Probably not, but that's just me personally. I don't see anything against it. People can put it out there and you can afford to run it. By all means, that's, good for you. But it's not something, I don't know. I think I would be looking at. I don't know.
Wow. See, Gunpowder Beauty says, if it can be done safely, I'll take 2 also. That's the correct answer, in my opinion.
If it's not safe, you can always put a thumb in it.
And you went there.
And AK is pretty close range. I mean, and in most cases, I don't know. I mean, I guess it wouldn't necessarily have to be, but no, I just don't see the need for it in that platform. I guess I don't know. For me, maybe to stop a vehicle, something like that. I guess maybe, but. Would it be as reliable as an actual machine gun? I entirely doubt.
So Defense Dad says, what would the cost be compared to a Barrett, though? Both have 5-round mags, and there's already a Barrett. So Yes, there is always a Barrett.
Barrett's been around for a while doing this too, so you could say they're already proven versus this new item off the shelf. Guess it would depend on purpose, really. Yeah, but that would go with any firearm in a sense, depending on the purpose. But I trust proven over new and cool.
Travis T says 50 BMG because sometimes you need to shoot an engine off. Yeah, you could definitely shoot and stop a vehicle with a 50 BMG. No. So Reloader 762 says, anyone remember the Remington 5mm rimfire cartridge and rifles from back in the day? I don't. Do either of you guys?
No.
Rich White says if he had something chambered in 50 BMG, it would hang on the wall and never get fired. He has no interest in shooting something like that. I don't. I mean, wall art is one thing, but sometimes even your wall art has to be taken out and fired. So
I think he's probably right. In most cases, I think people probably buy one, they say they have one, you bring it out with your friends after a while, and then, it's, probably gets old, you know what I mean, in a sense or whatever. So, depending on what you're doing, if you're not really using it for any kind of, I don't know, sport shooting or something like that, I mean, if you're just buying it to have one, I don't know. Yeah, I bet more people end up. I bet they take a lot more photos than shots with their damn 50 cal. I'll put it that way.
it's a barbecue gun.
Nah, I'm not saying there isn't a place for one. You know what I mean? There's definitely a place for one, but yeah. Is it practical in most cases? I don't know. Yeah, that's all on an individual.
So, I'm going to wrap this one up. I know we've got a lot of people, a lot of great people out in the side chat, great channels. I would say go and check everybody out. A lot of them put out great content. Even every once in a while, Rob D puts out some okay content. So, Rob,
Yeah.
you have anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Today he had a short, some dude making crack pipes.
I did not even get a notification for that.
I should throw up like a part 2 to that, because I was on camera saying, I was like, oh shit, he's making bongs and bongs and pipes or something, and the lady was like, yeah, what'd you think it was? And I was like, I don't know. I was starting to I don't want to say what I was starting to think it was, but yeah, I should have thrown that one up, but yeah, still an interesting process.
You have anything you want to plug before you get out of here, New York? And MOA asked if you were still in New York.
Yeah, still in New York. And as far as plugging, not really. I just say eat a salad, avoid the Glock brainwashing, and be American.
Mr. Foss, you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
You can support the G23 channel on Patreon at patreon.com/ some other letters. And there's a link out in the chat for it.
So if you're up at 10:30 tonight, Mr. 11. Sorry. Damn it. I never know what time it's going to be. 11 o'clock tonight, Mr. DM Foss will be having a live stream talking about a very good topic. So I would say watch it. If you can't catch it live, watch it tomorrow when you wake up. And double check and go watch Kingpin's videos. He puts out amazing content, and he's always out there throwing links and helping support channels. He's all over a bunch of different 2A channels and stuff. So I would go and subscribe to Kingpin. He's a pretty good guy. So, Gunpowder Beauty says to check out R&L Displays for all of your firearm needs. I know he's got the ARs covered. M&P, 1522, PCC, and 2 different versions of pistol stands. So I would definitely check them out, and you can use code G23 to get 15% off your stuff. So if you don't have anything going on tomorrow afternoon, 11 a.m. Pacific, I don't know whether that is metric time, 2 p.m. metric, Georgia Trapping and Fishing will be doing a live stream. And remember, tomorrow is 9/11, and so take and remember what happened 21 years ago. And I know we all vowed on that day that it would never be forgotten. And I had put out a video like a year ago, and YouTube decided that they were going to age restrict it. I challenged the age restriction, and they removed the age restriction guidance on the video. So it's back to being available for anybody. So have a great evening and a great start shooting. We'll be doing Suicide Prevention Saturday here pretty soon. Later, everyone.
Bye-bye.